In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add a job from Outflank's database of awards and company agreements. If you get stuck, click Contact and we'll help you get set up. First, select your state. Now you can choose from either the awards or the companies. Each of the awards sets the pay and conditions for a particular industry. Most businesses will employ their staff under an award. When a business wants to negotiate their own version of an award, they'll create an enterprise agreement. For this example, I'm going to select the Animal Care and Veterinary Services Award. If you don't know the award or agreement under which you're employed, it might be on your payslip, or you can ask your employer if you feel comfortable doing so. Otherwise, speak to your union or the Fair Work Ombudsman. You can also check the classifications to see if you can find a position that matches your duties and then select it to see if it matches your pay rates. You can either select from the entire list of positions or use the position group filter if available. Now you can select your contract type. You may be full-time or part-time, which are sometimes combined into permanent, or a casual. Some employees will be employed as shift workers, which I'll discuss in a moment. Once your position is selected, you can see the pay rates and where they sit on the pay grid, which determines when each rate gets paid. There are two pay grids, one for standard shifts and one for overtime. You can enter an age to see the junior rates, but this isn't necessary because after you sign up, your age will be calculated automatically. If you work as more than one position, you can add as many as you require here. For example, let's say you work as a higher level for certain shifts. Let's also say that this position has a different contract type. Now, when you're tracking your hours, you'll be able to choose the correct position for each shift. Shift work rates work differently to the rates on the pay grid because they are applied to the entire shift depending on when it starts, or ends, or when the majority of the shift is worked. If you need to change anything, all of the pay rates, pay grids, and shift work rates are completely customizable, so let's customize the pay rates. You can edit your base rate, which will affect all of your rates, or you can edit the pay rates themselves, either by changing the loading or by setting the rate directly. You can see here that because this position is casual, the ordinary rate has a casual loading. If you need to change your rates, see if you can get them to be exact by only changing the base rate and then the loading, because this is how most pay rates are calculated. You can also add new pay rates, so let's add a standard pay rate called late and click Apply. The late rate is not in our list because it hasn't yet been included into the pay grid, so let's click Customize Pay Grids. And here you can see that on weekdays, the entire day is set to be the ordinary rate. But let's pretend that our late rate gets paid for the start and end of the day. So I'll add two new time blocks, one for the first 6 hours and one for the last 6 hours, and set them both to be the late rate. Click Apply, and there's our custom rate in the list and on the pay grid. There will be more tutorials on the customization options in other videos, but for now, that's most of what you need to know to get started adding a job from the Outflank database. So click Next to save and continue with the setup process.